Morning and welcome to Race Industry Now, the weekly webinar series from EPARTRADE, presented to you by ARP, Performance Plus Global Logistic, Feria Racing Components, Peak, Fifth Third Bank Motorsport, Quarer, and CTEC. I am Francisque Savignan, the founder and CEO of EPARTRADE, the racing industry, every minute, every day. This is episode 541, and we're going to be talking with Creative Racing Products. With me this morning are Judy Kin, the co-founder of EPARTRADE, Andrea Breaks, our sales VP of Sales and Marketing, and our special host today, Mr. Don Taylor. So Judy?
Thank you, Francisque, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Boy, do we have a powerful and dynamic panel. This one's going to be exciting. And we have our special host, Don Taylor. Everyone knows Don Taylor, so thank you for joining us today, Don. Andrea?
Just another great company that I have a long history with, of working with a PRI, family-owned company, Creative Racing. They're great folks. I've known them for a long time. So just looking forward to, like Judy said, the great panelists of people that we've got joining us today, and it's going to be good. So, Don?
Mr. Don,
Yeah.
welcome back.
Good morning, Francis. Judy, Andrea, how are you doing today?
We're delighted to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you. Enjoying myself here in beautiful Charlotte, the home of NASCAR. I see today's topic very interesting. Interesting to me as an old chassis guy myself. Today's topic is how racers are using winning, low-cost wireless technology for chassis setups. And that's, of course, hosted by Creative Racing Products. And we have here today the co-founder of the company and chief engineer, Brett Barker, who has brought along with him, has lined up several users of the product, a driver, a crew chief, and some others. Tell us all about that. And we will start with Brett. Brett, good morning. Can you tell us a bit about the company, a little bit about the history, yourself, and the product we're going to talk about today for chassis setup?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Yeah, this actually all started over a lifetime ago, before I was even born. My father's father, so my grandfather, he used to race dirt cars. So my dad was, raised in that environment. So from a very young age, he started racing, built his first chassis in his first car before he was even 18. They'd run at all the tracks in the Northeast here, Lebanon Valley, Syracuse, Middletown. So he raced cars forever. Then as his career, progressed, he started off as an electrician, a welder, a fabber, worked into being a machinist, then a draftsman, then an engineer. But the one thing that stayed constant the whole time is he always owned race cars, worked on race cars, and, raced race cars himself. So then, I come along, I'm born into the racing family. So I'm spending the weekends, hiding in the back of the dually to sneak me into the pits as a young guy. And so my whole life was in racing. As Dad's career progressed, he ended up starting his own engineering company, and he assembled a team, and we all designed and developed new products. Mostly it started out in the paper handling industry, but it moved into a lot of other industries. As Dad focused on that, he kind of, got away from racing to, raise the company and raise his children. So naturally, from a young kid, I started in his company, in the machine shop, cutting metal to machining stuff to, as soon as he thought I was ready, brought me upstairs and started on a drafting board before CAD even came out. And then as I got older and the company started going really good, Dad said, "Hey, Brett, let's get back into racing and do what we always love to do." So sure enough, we started building a modified, got into the Whelen Modified Tour, built our own bodies, built everything, had our own engine program. And while we were doing that, we were, making our own tools, and we were always very innovative, right? We designed and developed new products for a living. So it was very natural that when we had our own race car that, we were going to make our own tools to make our life not only easier, but to give us an edge over everybody else. So this continued on. We did a great job. We won a championship in 2003. We had the rookie of the year before that. Very successful in racing. So as that started going on, Dad would always talk to me and say, hey, as soon as your kids are old enough, he goes, why don't we start designing and developing products for racing? Because we absolutely love it. And, once your kids are old enough, we'll be able to spend the time with it. So, the kids got older and Dad started talking to me and goes, hey, measuring ride height's always been a pain in the butt. Everybody always tries to, get around doing it. You got to lay on the ground. He goes, I know that we could make a better way to do this. He goes, why don't we just start out? Let's brainstorm and we'll think about this, see if we can come up with a good product. And that's really how the whole company grew. Spent, nights and weekends researching, seeing what technology we would need, realizing that I would need to go with Bluetooth. So then I started speaking with a lot of racers who were currently using Bluetooth technology in some of their tools. I found out from them what they liked, what they didn't like, what worked, what didn't work. And from our engineering background and just being complete OCD people that have to make everything perfect and not only just good enough, we design everything we do 2 to 4 times better than it actually needs to be. I very quickly realized that we needed a very solid foundation, very solid Bluetooth foundation. So I started doing my research. Through Dad owning the company for so many years and then letting me run it, we made tremendous contacts all over the United States. So I assembled a team of the best people. And I said, hey, if we're going to make these products, they've absolutely got to be rock solid. They've got to be the best, the most precise, the easiest to use. And we followed that philosophy. We knew Bluetooth was a big thing. People were having a lot of issues with it. It mattered if you were in a steel building where you were. So the first thing I needed to tackle was I needed to make sure that, hey, I make this effortless, I make it rock solid, and it just works. So we absolutely have the best Bluetooth in the industry, I believe. We wrote our own protocols, so it doesn't matter how many sensors we have. We can expand and run them all simultaneously. All on one tablet or phone, all in one place, all in your hand. We had to write our own protocol to do this, but I knew that we couldn't have the rock solid product I wanted if we didn't. And as we started thinking about this, we realized, hey, there's, a bunch of other products that could go along in this line. So thinking of the future, that's what we did is I designed the absolute best rock solid foundation that I could design with all these future plans in mind. And now everything is falling into place. We're able to develop products on this platform a lot more efficiently and quickly. We're able to come out now with a new product every year. We release a new product every year at PRI, which is a hard feat to do. But with the incredible team that I've assembled and the dedication and the long hours that we put in, we're able to do things that no other company is able to do. So that's our background. That's where it started. And I figured, let me show you where it's gone to. I can do a slideshow here of some of our products that we have. Let me load this now. And we'll see when you guys when we get on the screen here. Okay. So going through, like I said, it all started with the chassis height measuring system, we call it. It's a wireless system to measure your ride height. You can see in the picture here, everything comes in a case. We have 4 independent sensors, one for each corner of the car. Comes with a tablet with our app already loaded on it. These sensors have magnets on the bottom, so you can stick them right to your car, right to the frame and measure down to the ground. You can put them on the ground, measure up to the car. We have awesome functionality with this. We know that racers like to set up on roll-offs, so they'll be off the ground. those roll-offs, every one of us make sure that we level those as best we can, front to back, left to right. So now we've made basically a setup plane. These sensors can go in and they can measure that down to the thousandth of an inch, and they can set that plane as your new zero. Now, when the guys go up on their scale stands, they can just clip these sensors under the car, click their zero, and now they're getting their ride height, exactly from the frame rail to the surface the tire's sitting on. Doesn't matter if the ground plane they're sitting on was level, doesn't matter if there's holes in it, none of that matters. The roll-offs are level. These things do your zeroing. So we do have a lot of neat functionality that's built in with this, but that's the case, and that's what you get when you first see it. Now, this screen is showing, or this slide is showing our screen of our app, where you'll see we have our heights, which are coming from those ride height sensors. Then inside those green boxes are actually your live scale weights. So we make our own scales. We have a dual load cell split top scale, and we have a 3 load cell scale. We also can take any scale on the market and rebuild it with our electronics, use our multi-point calibration, and we can make those old scales. I've even done 25-year-old scales and made them more accurate than a brand new set of scales. So the scale weights are all incorporated live with the ride heights, all in your hand, all in one spot. That's what this slide is showing. These are our scales like I was speaking of. If you notice, the top is split in half. We do that because we have 2 load cells here, and we want those load cells to act independently. We also rotate and phase these load cells to decrease corner tip. So these scales have an incredible capacity. They're 4,200 pounds per scale. They're just as accurate at 0 pounds as they are at the 4,000. So they can be used for pull down. They have minimal corner tip, the least that you can possibly have. And their accuracy actually goes down to 1/10 of a pound. And that's because of our the load cells that we use from our manufacturer. They make us an incredible load cell for us. Our electronics, and then put that with our multi-point calibration. And we have something that is the most accurate scale on the market, down to 1/10 of a pound. Here we make our own roll-offs as well. These are our tall boys. These will sit anywhere from 14 to 16 inches off the ground. We also make a standard height roll-off. With these roll-offs, we make racks so you can hang them in your shop to save split floor space. You can hang them in your trailer. We make a straight edge you can take on the road with you that'll line these up and set your wheelbase, and you can level these up in 15 minutes with 2 guys at the track. So these are showing our tall boy roll-offs. You can then see that we have our dual load cell split top scales inside of them, and then you'll see we have our slit plates on top. The white you see is the Teflon PTFE pad, and then we have a aluminum hard coat anodized plate on top of that, and that completely lets your suspension of your car, the wrap in your rear end, this just frees everything up, lets your car sit there at equilibrium, so you can get an absolute true weight on these scales without incorporating any kind of shear loads or shear forces into them. Now here, we do a lot of different drive-on scaling rack systems. This one here happens to be our adjustable one. So this one is adjustable track width and wheelbase. We make them in 2 separate sizes, covers every single car out there. We actually make custom ones of these. We do them for a lot of tracks. We do them, we'll speak later with Griffin McGrath from Legends.Direct. We do a custom one just for Legend cars. And we make this very easy. This could be set up again in 15 minutes with 2 guys at the track if you want to take it on the road with you. We make a really nice powder coat steel cart that all of this stuff plugs right onto that cart, very easily fastens to it. Cart takes up no space whatsoever. I think it's only 1 foot wide. And you can put that right in your trailer, strap it down, take it on the road with you. We also have off ramps for guys that have bigger shops and they want to have a complete setup area. And then you can incorporate this with your chassis height measuring system, have all your zeros set, and push your car right up. And within seconds, you have live ride heights and scale weights all in the palm of your hand in one place. This is just a detailed view of our sensor, just showing some of the components. These sensors, this goes back to how my dad raised me to kind of do everything. We make everything in the United States, if not Connecticut, to be honest with you. We have a lot of pride in being able to control all of our manufacturing, make sure that everything is exactly how we want it. Most of these parts are all made in Connecticut. That's where our shop is. We're in Oxford, Connecticut, and we like to use local people. Through the years of Dad running his business, we found the best of the best in the industry. And it just so happens that, yeah, a lot of them are here in Connecticut. So believe it or not, our circuit boards, we have them made right here in Connecticut. Our plastic injection molded housings, that tooling was made from, I would say, the best guy in the world for injection molding. Our tools are beautiful. You have to see them. So all of our stuff here, we control everything. We do all the final assembly, calibration, testing. We've designed and manufactured all of our own test apparatus, all of our calibration fixtures. We've done every aspect of that. We control every bit of it. All of our components are made in the United States, if not Connecticut. We have a lot of pride in that. Again, there's our sensor for the chassis height measuring system. That's more of a detailed view of the screen, showing you your live scale weights, your live ride heights. We give you your left side percentage, left side weight, cross, total, bite. We give you all this information, and you can save it all to this tablet. This can save over 1 million of these records locally right on the tablet. Without our users doing anything, without them signing up or paying for anything, just having the tablet hooked to Wi-Fi, we automatically sync all their data up to cloud space that we own. It's military encrypted on the way up and the way down. They don't have to worry about anybody being able to steal or look at their data. And with this, we make it so that, if God forbid the tablet falls on the ground and it breaks, anybody can just grab their cell phone, load the app. It'll go in through a security check. It'll check your sensors. Then you can back up all of your information. You can store all of your notes in here. So you're never going to be without anything. With that being said, we also make it very, very easy and very secure when these sensors get broken. They get broken every day of the week. People don't know how to live without our chassis height measuring system once they use it. So even if they, have something happen at the track, they'll call me right up. All you simply have to do is give me your system ID, what corner of the car is broken, and I can overnight you right to the track, a replacement sensor. You do nothing. You turn on your system. It just works. That's how all of our products work. This here is just a example of our scale only app. So if you didn't have our ride height sensors and you own just our scales, then this is the app that you would have that would run it, where you just simply get your scale weights and all your percentages and everything along with that. Here, what we do is our sensors, believe it or not, they can measure anything from 1.5 inches to 24 inches off the ground. They don't care what orientation they're in. So you can have them vertical, upside down. They just don't care. So a lot of people realized very quickly that they can do a lot of things other than just measuring ride height with these. So what we do is we make a whole host of brackets that will clip on to the heads of bolts. So there's people, measuring their front suspension components. These little pieces you see here, we custom machine this Delrin, put magnets in it, put a level on it. We machine it very precise so that piece of metal is directly on the center line. Now that will fit over the head of a bolt, and now you can put our sensor on it and you can measure to the center lines of these bolts. Something that's very, very popular is the PNR bar in modified racing. Very hard to get up there and measure. It's in the middle of the car. It's always in the dark. You can't get your head up in there. You're squinting with one eye. You're kind of guessing. We take all the guesswork out of it. All you do is take our little bracket here, put it right over the 5/8 or 3/4 inch bolt going through the Heim, level it with the little level on top of it, stick your sensor on it. Now you've got ride heights down to 1/1000th of an inch. Shoot, if you're on your roll-offs, you're already zeroed. So it's already measuring to the ground plane like it should. So we make all kinds of things. We have these brackets here for, let's see, sprint cars. They measure ride height to the center line of the torsion bars. So we make reverse brackets of these that are female that will actually locate on the ID of torsion bars, and then you can measure to the center lines. So basically, if it's 1.5 to 24 inches, our sensors can measure it. This is just a picture of our case that everything comes in, nice and easy. Throw it right in your pit cart. We have cup guys that they take this on the plane with them, bring it to the track. It's that easy to carry. This is another view of one of our drive-on systems that we had for a modified team, just showing it from a different angle. As you can see, our scale pads fit beautifully in there. They're on the same height as the roll-off pad. We also incorporate a bunch of things. We make turn plates for the front of these. We do a lot of custom bracketry when people have fixtures or even body fixtures or things that they like to measure. We can get those points. We design everything in CAD programs. So we have 2D CAD programs, 3D CAD programs. We solid model everything. So we can put things and weld fixtures at exact locations anywhere on here to make people's lives easier when they're setting bodies or just a whole host of issues. People come to us with a lot of custom work that we can add to these drive-on systems. Now, this here is showing that drive-on system, like I mentioned earlier, how we have a cart that you could very easily put right into your trailer and take on the road with you. So that's what this is showing. This is showing the different components. They're bolted on with those tabs on the bottom. Very easy. Get to the track, zing these things off. Take your straight edge, set them up. You're ready to go. You've got a complete setup plate at the track, in your shop, wherever you want in 15, 20 minutes. Easy to carry with you. Now, this is another rack that a lot of our customers, it's very popular with guys that have, say, a little bit bigger of a shop. So the guys that need more floor space, they'll have our wall rack, hang our roll-offs up on the wall, get them out of your way. For guys that have a little bit of a bigger shop, this is our little cart. It fits your 4 scale pads all the way on the bottom. Your 4 roll-offs hang from it, and then we have a hook for your chassis height measuring system. That way, everything's all in one spot. Put it in the corner of your shop. When you're ready to set up, roll it out. You're good for setup day. So now that was my last slide. That was a quick show of some of our products. And with that, we actually have somebody who's been using our products for a number of years. He uses it on a whole host of different cars that he drives. Actually, he's live at a racetrack, getting ready to race this afternoon. He's at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. And just so happens that the Monaco Modified Series is there this weekend. And as I mentioned before, with those drive-on, drive-off rack systems that we do, I was saying that we do a lot of them for series promoters and tracks. And it just so happens that the Monaco Modified Series, they're one of the ones that uses our drive-on, drive-off scale rack system. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Ryan, and you can let these guys know how you've used our products and how they've helped you in racing.
Yeah, so Brett, obviously it's, thank you, Brett and Don, for having me on. And thank you for making the roll-offs and having Monaco Modified Series use them, because I know for us that where we have no ride height rules anymore, it certainly saves underneath that door and that little piece of aluminum padding that we have, so we don't have to roll over and destroy our bodies, kind of like what we would used to have to do on some of these roll-off pads that weren't quite as nice. But yeah, no, I've been using your stuff for a long time. Your ride height system. I remember I first started using it in, I want to say it was 2017, and I was at JGR at the time, and I remember I introduced it to them, and I believe they started using it. And then I also, when I went over to RFK, I was looking at our setup plate and noticed they use it as well. So, you know, I think that speaks volumes for the products you guys are using. I mean, at the top of our sport is using it, and it's just advertising for itself. So thank you to you guys. As you know, and I think I heard a part of what you were talking about, accuracy and all that is everything in racing. I come from, you know, a family who did it as a hobby, and then I moved to North Carolina. I've been around some of the best in the business, and they do this as a job. And you learn about being precise. We used to be the type that said, hey, you know, we're within an eighth or a 16th of an inch. That doesn't cut it. That doesn't cut it anymore. We've learned too much. We've evolved too much, and we're talking within the thousandth. And you need accuracy for that. So the ride height lasers that you guys have developed has certainly helped me, whether I'm scaling at my race shop at home, whether I'm, you know, at the racetrack and I need to throw it back on, check my heights, check my numbers, or make some adjustments. It makes it quick, efficient, and easy for me. So you know, I can't thank you guys enough for that. I love your roll-offs. I've been using them myself. It makes it easy if you're, you know, on a pad where they're not level, and you can just start screwing around and leveling your scale pads, especially me, who wants to be able to get underneath the car and check my torque arm. Or if it's a third link car, you want to be able to get under there and not feel like you are like sucking in your stomach trying to crawl there. You guys have the extra length legs, I believe they are. So that's made it helpful at all as well. But you know, for me, I'm always checking in on your website, seeing what you guys are developing and coming up with. So yeah, anybody that's checking this out, you got to go to their website. You got to be up to date with technology, because that's what the sport's all about. And if you don't want to get left behind, you got to make sure you go to their website.
Awesome.
Well,
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ryan. Yeah, we're always working hard, developing new stuff, and absolutely stay tuned to the site, because I have some pretty cool stuff that we're actually just getting ready to release. And in about a couple of weeks here, you're going to see some new products rolling out that you're gonna love to have. So I'll make sure we get your hands on them.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. Like I said, I've enjoyed being at RFK. I've learned one thing about you know, Brad is he's a forward thinker, and that's the thing about racing. If you want to keep winning races, if you want to keep being on top, you need to constantly be thinking forward. And obviously you and your father, Don, have done that, and you guys are trying to help racers do that as well.
That's right. Awesome.
well,
Awesome. Thank
thank you, Ryan. That was a hell of a testimonial, and thank you, and best of luck for this race coming up. Our host is back. We had a little technical challenge, so Don is back with us. He's going to take over and introduce our next three guests: Griffin, McGrath, Jerry Babb, and Cody Pennell. So thank you, Don. You take over.
Cody, you're there. Hi, this is Cody Pennell with the RTR, and it's interesting that the product itself has so many applications across different types of race cars. And you do drifting with Von Gittin Jr. Can you tell us about your application and how you use it?
Be happy to. I think obviously when talking about drifting, we're one of the younger series, and not a lot of people understand the need for precision and what we're doing exactly. So basically everything that's coming down from modifieds, NASCAR, all the precision and the weight management that are coming from those areas of motorsports are now coming to the younger series. From the drift, used to be 240 out in the parking lot, and you were just trying to match another car. To our program now, we have 3 competitive cars running RY45s with a shot of nitrous, and we're around 1,500 horse. Putting that amount of power down to the ground through a sequential is a feat in itself. But a little bit about our program: we have taken 4 championships in the last 10 years We have the winningest driver in James Dean, which is from Ireland. He has won 3 back-to-back series championships, and then we won last year with him in a Ford Mustang. These cars are 3250 weight, and to see what they can do and how nimble they can be when you're going sideways at 110 miles an hour is a feat in itself. We are the new ones to Creative Racing and being a partner with Brett. I joined the program around 3 years ago, and the intent has been putting processes in place that make repeatable results. And to just repeat what Ryan said, we're getting to the point that you can win championships in the early days of a series based off pure grit and determination. And now, once you're in the leading edge, same as RFK is, you have those people chasing everything you do. All eyes are on you. So your processes, your ideas that are special to your program and your success, other people copy those things and start seeing it. And we were looking for an edge as far as chassis setup. And that's whenever we met with Brett at PRI, our technical director, found his products. And just to reiterate the things that we're seeing with the chassis ride height measuring system, is time management. We, for the first time, took 5 cars to an event in Atlanta, made it through our seating series, took a first place podium, and then the event prior to that, we took a second place podium. So the dominance that this system has given us and the time that it has given us back to make improvements in other areas, because I think that sometimes we forget that if we're spending all the time on a setup plate for days on end, that's time that we could be saving somewhere else. So I would say the Bluetooth reliability and the time savings are the 2 things that we would speak to as the biggest benefit for our program. And Brett's willingness to always be there and be innovative with new ideas. He's getting involved with Formula Drift and with us. So I'm looking forward to the years of development, just as Ryan has spoke to over on the Cup side, that we'll bring that over to the Formula Drift.
Excellent. I'm familiar with the Formula Drift. I worked with Reese Millen, who was champion a few years back, one of the pioneers. Yes. He started with a Pontiac GTO, if you recall, at Irwindale. I remember
him and Sam, him and Ed.
Yeah. Anyway, we've come a long way. Jim Lau has come a long way. So there's one application, drifting. Another application, Legends cars. Familiar with Legends cars from around here in Charlotte. And Griffin, you're the founder of Legends.Direct, manufacturer of Legends cars. And can you tell us about the application in your type of vehicle? Your speaker, can you turn on your audio?
Sorry about that.
There we go.
Yeah, just a little bit about us. First of all, thanks for having us on. Thanks for asking me to come on, Brett. Brett's done a lot for us over just a short period of time here, but done a lot for the Legends community over the last handful of years. And we're the world's largest Legend car dealer, and we strive for because the Legend cars are a spec series, meaning everybody is running the same components on all corners. For the most part, you can change springs and things of that nature, but considering it's a spec series, we need to make sure all of our stuff is completely in line and down to the 30-second as far as ride heights and things of that nature. We just did a bunch of testing over the last 12 days with Brett's system. I learned about it from Zach Miller at Miller Motorsports. That's at MPM. That's above me there. He uses it on the road, and that's kind of where he's seen the biggest time savings. Is he sets up all of his scale roll-offs and stuff on the road and the tracks that they go to, and it makes it so they can make easy adjustments at the track, and without getting up and down and having to destroy their knees, measuring stuff, and backs, measuring stuff, and still be able to read their accurate scale numbers. And like Brett said earlier, regardless of where you're at, as long as your scale pads are level, the measurement is going to come back correct, and you can even correct for that measurement if you are on the scale pads, and they're lifted ones or what have you. So he's also working, which is really, really cool to me. He's working on an awesome project that they just got finished with. We struggle in the Legends community to find roll-offs, like I would say roll-offs that are super precise. And super precise is exactly what I would state when I think of creative racing. And the roll-offs that Brett's actually creating a custom set of roll-offs for Legend cars that'll work for Legends or even a Bandolero car, which is a huge part of the market that is being missed right now. And Brett was so eager and easy to work with on figuring out a solution for us. I mean, I gave him our problem that we had, and he easily jumped all over it and wanted to find out how he could help and how he could make our lives a lot easier. And in a matter of weeks, he already came out with a custom product, which is just shocking to me. And I thank you a lot for that, Brett, because that's going to help us a lot this season. And I think we can move a lot of these units too, to other teams, so they can stay as precise as they expect their teams to be. And it's just Brett just kind of makes, I guess every one of his products just make life easier. It's either from not having to get up and down all the time, or from just making sure that you have the right numbers, and they're repeatable. So I'm super. I haven't got my roll-offs quite yet, and I'm super excited to get them and to test them out, because all I've heard is great stuff about those.
Yeah, we've got them on a skid. You're going to be getting them any day now.
Awesome. We're pumped about it, and I can't thank you enough for doing that special project for us. And that's I think that speaks volumes to Brett and his team. They saw a Legend Car team, which you could look at as looking down upon them, the racing community, considering we're more of an entry level class, and one where people learn rather than, he does a lot of Cup Series stuff and things of that nature. And Brett didn't bat an eye when I said, hey, I got a problem, and this is what kind of car it's for. And he jumped all over it, was super excited to find a solution for us. And for that, I thank him and his team, because they came out with a solution quickly. And when I say his team, it's his family, which is the coolest part. It's literally his son's welding, his other son's running a CNC machine, and it's him and his dad coming up with the ideas. So it's a pretty neat organization, and it's really one we're proud to be involved with. So thank you, Brett, for asking us to come on this and to kind of to come into your circle.
Absolutely. No, it was fun. It's been great working with you, and it was fun designing that stuff. That's what we do. We have a whole nother area to our company that we don't even advertise. You don't even see it on our website. But we custom design all kinds of things, custom rear suspensions, custom front suspensions, all kinds of things. We'll work with teams and actually design with them, and then not share their designs, not make it for any other team, only for them. So what we did for you, we do all the time. It's what we love to do. I don't know. I love inventing. I love making stuff. I love working on new stuff. So when I meet somebody like you, I get excited, and we can make anything. Literally, my team and I, we can make anything. So it's for us, that's fun stuff. So thank you very, very much. And I'm glad you love the stuff the way you do.
Absolutely. No, thank you for being so enthusiastic about it and so helpful throughout the process and really moving it along quickly. So I really appreciate that. And I look forward to, helping you spread the product in the Midwest. That's where we're out of, is the Midwest, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin areas are our territories. So that's our goal, is to spread the creative name up in this region. So
Awesome.
Griffin, thank you very much. Thank you for those comments. Yes, the Legends may not be on television very often or be on a special on Netflix, but there's a lot of them out there through the years. And it's just a good, affordable way to get involved in racing, and either for training, like you say, or just for fun. A lot of exciting action with those cars too. So that's great. Patiently waiting, standing by, Jerry Babb. Thank you for your patience. Let's talk a little bit about late model, your expertise there, and your experience with the creative racing products, please.
Well, thank you for having me on. Everybody that has spoken has pretty much covered what I had planned on saying, so we're going to have to spin it a little bit different for us bodied cars and, people who just turn left. And the drifting part, I didn't realize that the access to that technology was a benefit to them. I like to, the best way of putting it, any type of racing you can learn something from. I'll go to a drag race and pick up one thing that they do out of the ordinary. It may be a procedure, it may be a certain different type of bolt-on part, and try to adapt it to what we have, because if you stay stagnant, you're going to be left behind. And the only way to keep ahead is to keep trying new ideas. I use the Creative Racing laser measuring system for myself and my clients because it speeds up the system, and the accuracy is so much better than just grabbing a tape measure out of the pit box that's been dropped, stepped on, and just plain abused. It saves time because, like they said earlier, bending over, walking around the car for 4 corners, holding your head just right so that you can get the measurement, and recording it. Those are all important parts, and this system eliminates all of that. You push one button, or it can be set up to self-measure every few seconds, and it works out fantastic because it keeps the memory there. I can keep it working and then go back 10 seconds later, and if I'm entering the information manually on a spreadsheet, I can do it later. I can also put it on paper for later, or somebody can look over my shoulder that's helping, and we can all work together. We've all seen the 2 tape measure process that never quite works out quite right, because I've seen tape measures as much as a 1/4 inch off. So even measuring toe, I always use 1 tape measure because of it. Well, if I'm measuring frame heights, I want to have it the same way every single time. The cars we're using now, the technology's funneled down from the big national series, and we're on bump stocks on most of the cars I work on. And we're talking with Packers on bump stop 64ths of an inch. We can't measure that with a tape measure. And if we have our frame heights off an 1/8 or better, now we've got our loads different all the way through the system, and it doesn't work out that well. Ryan said, the best part, it's accuracy. It's technology, keeping up with technology. It's just, if you don't keep up, you're going to be left behind. And there's so many good things that, Brett, yourself have mentioned, everybody's mentioned. I kind of feel, lucky to be with all these people, and I'm experiencing the same thing that all of they have already mentioned. It's accuracy, it's speed. I once worked for a man that told me, he says, if I had all the money in the world, I could buy anything but time. And he's correct. I can't buy time. Time is important. So by having this system, I'm saving time. I'm being more accurate than I could ever be before. And the results have shown. I've been with some really good teams with some really good results, and just spreading the good information.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. With that, Brett, why don't you give us a little summary here and any product notes about new things coming out you might want to mention?
Yep. And thank you very much, Jerry. I know you've been using our stuff for a long time, and and you've just been awesome to work with. So and you just wait too, because we've got new stuff coming out that you're just gonna love too. So
I can't wait, because I talked to your dad the other day on the phone, and being sort of a beta tester, so to speak, I'm really anxious to keep the wireless technology moving forward. So thank you for involving me.
That's right, absolutely. So I can never hold anything back. I'm an open book. So what I'm kind of teasing to everybody is we've developed our own wireless load sticks. And we've also incorporated that into everything. So now you're going to, all in your hand, right? In that one app on that one screen, you'll have your live scale weights, live ride heights, live load weights, everything all there in one spot. So it's, we're just waiting a little bit here, but that'll be production released and available soon. So everybody keep your eye on our website, and you'll know exactly when. So yeah, no, thank you to everybody. And I think this just goes to prove that when we started this whole, journey 10 years ago, we really only know modifieds, for racing. We know a lot of other series and things, but I never really understood or knew that how many cars would actually benefit from our products and our technology. Right. So now, we've got, like we said, we've got Cup cars, Xfinity truck, right? All that stuff, down to, so Legend cars, drift cars, late models. We have dirt cars. We have, I'm not even kidding you, this is one I didn't even know existed. We have a customer who races Legend cars on ice. And I actually believe it's in Greenland, and he uses our stuff. Then we had a bunch of, which is really cool, rock crawlers. We actually have a guy with a rock crawler using our stuff. So shoot, we're versatile. We could work on any race car. We're constantly innovating, developing, staying on top, making our stuff the best. And it just goes to show we have, let's see, for many, many years now, we have Tesla uses our system, McLaren, Rivian for all the electric vehicles. So not even just racing. Right. We have car manufacturers all over the world using it. So from rock crawlers to Legend cars to Cup cars to electric delivery vehicles, we really do. We cover it all, and we can do anything.
That's great. And I want to congratulate you, Brett, you and your family, starting a company, American ingenuity, American sourcing of product, and being able to establish a company like that. It's tough to do. I've been there many times, and what you're doing now is great, and expanding it and seeing those other markets is terrific. I was going to say, when I started out in the 90s, I went to Rockingham with the General Motors NASCAR program, and asked the crew chiefs there, how do you set these cars up? What tools do you have? And he pulled out, everybody had on their belt a big fat carpenter's tape measure, which is fine. We still use that, and that works, by golly. But here you've created something new beyond that. And I remember too, back then, you set it up. Okay, then you start putting rounds in, taking rounds out, trying to keep track of where you are. Okay, then we throw springs at it, put the springs back, and then you try to keep notes, keep up with it, and then it's like, let's go back to our original setup when we got here. And it's kind of hard to do that accurately and know that you've done it accurately on a track like that. So,
yep.
Again, congratulations. The new era is upon us, and you're part of it, Brett.
Yeah, thank you. And that's exactly what we did. And I tell people too, what you just mentioned is one of the biggest, most powerful things about this system that people don't even realize. We all know, right? We're all real racers. We've all been there before. You're hustling, you're setting up the car. It's midnight. You got to load it in the trailer, right? You check your ride heights. You lay down on the ground. You're hoping you're winked with one eye and you wrote down the right numbers, right? And then you're like, it's close enough, whatever. Put a round in it, throw it in the trailer. It's good enough. Well, now with our stuff, what I tell people is set up your car, right? Have your final setup and save it. We allow you to do a compare screen. So now what you can do is you can say, compare my car sitting there live right now to what this setup was. So what you can do is you can save your final setup and now go through the car and say, hey, what happens if we put a spring rubber in? And now you can look at your cross, your bite, you can see what it did. What happens when we adjust the Pennell bar? What happens when we put a round in? Now you can kind of predict and see on the screen what these adjustments are going to do. You can see them in seconds. Now you get to the track, you see the way the car is going through the corner, right? And you're like, oh, I know if I do this, it's going to change this. So maybe I do this with the Pennell bar. I do a little round. You know, it helps you. And you can learn so much about your car in minutes that you never knew. I mean, shoot, you could dump a half a pound of air pressure out of the left front and you'll see it in these ride height sensors. So it really, really is a powerful tool in more ways than you even realize till you start using it.
Brett, I want to thank you and all of our panelists for today. I see Francis has joined us, which can only mean one thing, and that is that we're kind of running out of time. But
we would love to carry on for another hour.
I loved it. Francis, go ahead.
Thank you. That was what a great testimonials. I mean, what a great series of testimonials. What a brilliant idea to bring all these series on. And I think you're just touching the peak of the iceberg here when I hear your story and how big racing is not only in the US but across the world. I mean, it just we want to help in any possible way. So this webinar has been recorded. We'll make sure to promote the hell out of it. We'll distribute it to our newsletter channel, on social media, and of course on the EPARTRADE platform. We pushed a creative racing product back on the homepage of the EPARTRADE platform. So for more information and updates, please visit epartrade.com. We will be back next week. We're going to be talking engine with SRI Performance. So again, I'm sorry to have to end this one. Love to have to carry on for another hour, but we've got to go. So thank you very much, Brett. Thank you, Griffin. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Cody. And thank you, Ryan and Ed, of course, for putting this webinar together. Thank you very much, everyone, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Everybody, thank you.
EPARTRADE is a digital platform that we've created basically to make life easier in the business community of auto racing.
EPARTRADE, there is no e-commerce. It's literally a connection just like at a trade show. So now, any time of the year, a buyer could reach out to a supplier.
When you see a product that you're interested in, all you need to do is click on request more information, and then from there it is forwarded directly to the buyer or to the supplier.
EPARTRADE really eliminates having to travel, closing down your shop. Now you have a place to showcase globally your racing product and technology.
Land speed record holder George Poteet's Speed Demon rocketed 481 miles per hour at the Bonneville Salt Flats. You don't go that fast without ARP fasteners.
There is no way that we could go the speed that we've gone, the number of times we've gone, with a lesser quality bolt than ARP supplies to us. And we absolutely wouldn't be where we were today if it weren't for ARP.
When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
We're Performance Plus Global Logistics. Our team of dedicated performance industry and logistics experts get valuable cars and components to the track on time in top condition. We provide expedited logistics solutions for the performance industry using direct routes instead of deferred options, and communicate all necessary information to the appropriate resources to meet regulations and ensure a smooth transit and secure delivery, both domestically and internationally. And we exceed customer expectations by providing best-in-class service with an efficient and cost-effective system in place. Contact us today to book your next shipment.
You work as hard as your truck, and you have no time for downtime. That's why more truck owners trust Blue Def, America's #1 diesel exhaust fluid brand. Each batch is guaranteed pure, so you can avoid costly repairs caused by inferior DEF. Demand America's best for your truck. Blue Def and Blue Def Platinum. Put trust in your truck.
With roots in the Midwest that date back well before the Model T, Fifth Third Bank has a long history of serving the needs of automotive companies. While much has changed over the years, our passion for helping businesses put cars on the road and on the track has not. Today, we are more committed than ever as a member of SEMA, a founding member of PRI, and a sponsor of multiple race teams across several racing series. Where can we take your business? Fifth Third Bank.
Where will you find Farea Racing components, circle track, drag racing, and any top race shop? In every form of motorsports competition, our valves and valve train components deliver race-proven design and technology. And we've brought that same performance to our street applications as well. We're backed by 5 decades of experience, an extensive range of off-the-shelf components, and our custom valve department has the fastest turnaround times in the industry. Farea Racing components. Stand with us or race against us.
When it comes to pushing the limits of performance, the pros know there's no room for compromise. At Crowder Cams, we don't just engineer camshafts and valve train components, we redefine what power means. Since 1955, Crowder Cams has been the name trusted by racers, engine builders, and gearheads around the globe. Whether you're building a street machine, a dragster, or a track car, Crowder Cams provides the muscle you need to dominate. And with Crowder, victory is within your reach.
At SeaTech, we're on a mission to lead the storage industry through innovative custom-built solutions that meet every challenge head-on. Designed for versatility, whether in a commercial setting or at home, we create high-quality, durable products that stand the test of time. SeaTech, engineering and innovation.